Chapter 1, Introduction to Phrases. Hi, I am Natasha, and today I am going to talk about something exciting and very useful for learning English. Phrases. You might be wondering, what exactly is a phrase and why should I care about it? Let's dive in together. And I promise that by the end of this chapter, you'll see how phrases can make English much easier and more enjoyable for you. What is a phrase? Let's start with a simple definition. A phrase is a small group of words that work together as a single unit. Unlike a sentence, a phrase doesn't need a complete thought to make sense. Imagine a phrase as a group of friends walking together. Each word in the phrase plays its own role to help express an idea. Think about this example. In the park. This phrase doesn't tell us the full story like a sentence does, but it gives us an idea of where something is happening. Phrases are like puzzle pieces. They help build bigger pictures in English. Why are phrases important? Phrases are essential because they are everywhere in English. They make sentences clearer and more detailed. Learning different types of phrases will help you sound more natural and confident when you speak. As Samuel Johnson once said, "Language is the dress of thought." The phrases we use dress our ideas, giving them style, color, and clarity. Imagine how boring language would be if we only used single words. By using phrases, we can describe things in a more exciting way. Types of phrases. There are several types of phrases, each with its own purpose. Over the next few chapters, we will explore each type. Noun phrases, verb phrases, adjective phrases, adverb phrases, prepositional phrases, infinitive phrases, gerund phrases. Each of these phrases has a specific job in a sentence, just like how each person has their role in a team. By learning these phrases, you'll be building a stronger foundation in English. Examples to keep you curious. Let's look at a few examples of phrases to spark your interest. Noun. Phrase, the beautiful sunset. Here, the beautiful sunset acts as a single idea focused on the noun sunset. Verb, phrase, is running fast. This phrase adds action and tells us more about what someone is doing. Prepositional phrase, on the table. We get a clearer idea of where something is. These simple phrases help create images and action in our minds, adding meaning without needing a full sentence. Let's practice together. As we go through each type, I encourage you to think of your examples. Phrases are everywhere, and you'll see them in books, conversations, and even movies. If you want to practice even more, check out thestoryspeak.online, where I have some helpful videos and exercises just for you. I'd love to hear your thoughts. Why do you think learning phrases could help you in English? Share a phrase you know in the comments, and let's learn together. Chapter 2. Noun phrases. Welcome to Chapter 2. Now that we have a basic understanding of phrases, it's time to dive into one of the most common types, noun phrases. These phrases are incredibly helpful for describing people, places, things, or ideas in more detail. Ready? Let's get started. What is a noun phrase? A noun phrase is a group of words centered around a noun. This noun is the main word, but it often comes with extra words to make the meaning clearer and more interesting. Think of it like dressing up a noun to make it more stylish and specific. For example, the bright morning sun. Here, Morning sun is the noun phrase, and the words the bright give it more color and detail. This phrase is helpful because it gives a richer picture in your mind. Instead of just sun, we get the bright morning sun, which feels more vivid and descriptive. Why use noun phrases? Using noun phrases allows you to say more without making your sentences too long. They make your speech and writing clearer and more interesting, helping listeners or readers picture what you're talking about. Consider the phrase a beautiful garden. If you just say garden, that's fine. But when you add a beautiful before it, the phrase suddenly feels more lively and appealing. Famous English writer Mark Twain once said, "The difference between the almost right word and the right word is really a large matter." Noun phrases help you find that right word to express your idea in the best way. Structure of a noun phrase. Most noun phrases have a simple structure. The main noun, the person, place, or thing you're talking about. Modifiers. These are words that give extra detail about the noun. For example, the big red apple. Main noun, apple modifiers. The big red modifiers help answer questions like which one or what kind. They help make your noun more specific, making the phrase stronger and more effective. Examples of noun. Phrases in everyday English here are some common noun phrases that you might hear or use daily. A cold glass of water. Instead of just saying water, this phrase gives more detail. The old wooden chair adds a sense of age and material to a simple chair. A quick morning walk makes walk sound refreshing and purposeful. Do you see how each phrase adds a little extra to the noun? That's the power of noun phrases. They're everywhere, from simple sentences to complex descriptions in stories. Practice with noun phrases. Let's try creating some noun phrases together. Here are some nouns, and I'll show you how to expand them. Book. An interesting old book teacher. A helpful English teacher. Tree. The tall oak tree. Now, think of some nouns and add words around them to make noun phrases. You can try this with anything you see around you, like car, room, or flower. If you need more help, visit my website thestryspeak.online, where I have examples and exercises to make this easier. Using noun phrases to make sentences better. Let's look at 2 sentences. Notice how adding a noun phrase makes a difference. Simple sentence, I saw a bird. With noun, phrase, I saw a small, colorful bird. In the second sentence, you get a clearer picture of what the bird looked like, making the description more engaging and precise. Adding detail to language is a key to making it powerful. As Ernest Hemingway, a famous writer, said, "The most essential gift for a good writer is a built-in shock-proof shine detector." This means that adding the right details, like using noun phrases, makes language more honest and effective. By learning how to use noun phrases, you're already taking a big step in making your English more impactful and descriptive. Here's a fun activity for you. In the comments, try sharing a noun phrase of your own. Choose any noun and add some words around it to make it more descriptive. I'd love to see what you come up with, and other learners can get inspiration from your phrases too. Chapter 3. Verb phrases. Welcome back. In this chapter, we'll explore a type of phrase that adds action and energy to our sentences. Verb phrases. Verb phrases are essential for describing actions and giving life to your thoughts. Let's dive in and see how verb phrases can make your English sound more natural and lively. What is a verb phrase? A verb phrase is a group of words that includes a main verb and can also have helping verbs like is, was, has, will, etc. The main verb shows the action, while the helping verbs give extra information, such as when the action happened or who performed it. For example, is running quickly. Here, running is the main verb, while is a helping verb. Together, they create a verb phrase that tells us someone is currently running. Think of a verb phrase as the engine of a sentence. It moves the idea forward and makes it dynamic. Why are verb phrases important? Verb phrases help us express actions, emotions, and states of being more clearly. They add depth to our sentences by allowing us to describe not just what happens, but how and when it happens. Without verb phrases, sentences would feel static and lifeless. Imagine these examples. I am learning English. Here, the verb phrase am learning shows that the action is ongoing. She has finished her homework. Has finished tells us that the action is complete. As George Orwell said, if thought corrupts language, language can also corrupt thought. Choosing the right words and phrases helps communicate our thoughts accurately and powerfully. Structure of a verb. Phrase. A typical verb phrase has helping verbs. These are optional but often included to show time, mood, or possibility. Main verb. The core action or state of the phrase. For example, will be studying. Helping verbs, will be. Main verb, studying. Adding helping verbs changes the meaning and depth of the main action. Let's see a few variations to understand this better. Examples of verb phrases in everyday English. Here are some verb phrases you might come across. Is going to school. Going is the main verb, and is tells us it's happening now. Has been waiting patiently. Has been tells us the waiting started in the past and is ongoing. Will visit soon. Will shows future action, and visit is the action. Each verb phrase adds clarity and allows us to understand the timing and nature of actions better. Creating verb phrases together. Let's take a simple main verb, like run, and expand it using different helping verbs to see how the meaning changes. Is running, happening right now. Was running, happened in the past. Will be running, will happen in the future. Now, try this with other verbs like eat, write, or study. You'll notice how the addition of helping verbs can change the meaning of the main action completely. For more practice, you can check out examples on thestoryspeak.online. Making sentences more interesting with verb phrases. Let's compare two sentences and see the difference a verb phrase makes. Simple sentence, she runs. With verb phrase, she is running quickly. The verb phrase is running quickly gives us a clearer, more dynamic picture, making the sentence sound more interesting and complete. Actions are essential for communication, and verb phrases help us express those actions. As the famous playwright William Shakespeare said, action is eloquence. By choosing the right verb phrases, we add clarity and passion to our thoughts, making our communication effective. Try coming up with your own verb phrase in the comments. Think of any action, like swim or sing, and add helping verbs to create a verb phrase. I can't wait to see the creative phrases you come up with. Chapter 4: Adjective Phrases. Welcome to Chapter 4. We've talked about noun phrases and verb phrases, and now it's time to explore adjective phrases. Adjective phrases help us make descriptions richer and more vivid. They allow us to add color and detail to nouns, making our sentences more engaging and memorable. So let's dive in and discover the beauty of adjective phrases. What is an adjective phrase? An adjective phrase is a group of words centered around an adjective, giving extra information about a noun. Instead of using just a single word, like happy, an adjective phrase gives a fuller description, such as very happy with the result. Here, very happy with the result tells us a lot more than just happy. Imagine that you're painting a picture with words. Using an adjective phrase is like adding layers of color to make the picture brighter and clearer. Why use adjective phrases? Adjective phrases make your language more descriptive, helping others picture what you're talking about. When you describe a person, place, or thing with an adjective phrase, it feels more detailed and expressive. For instance, a tall building. This is a simple description. A surprisingly tall building with shiny glass walls. Here, the adjective phrase, surprisingly tall with shiny glass walls, gives a vivid image of the building. As the famous poet Robert Frost said, "Poetry is when an emotion has found its thought and the thought has found words." Adjective phrases help you find the right words to express your thoughts and emotions more accurately. Structure of an adjective phrase. An adjective phrase typically includes an adjective, the main describing word, modifiers, words like very, extremely, or quite, that make the adjective stronger or more specific. Additional words. These can be prepositional phrases or nouns that give more detail. For example, extremely grateful for the help. Adjective, grateful modifier, extremely additional detail. For the help. Examples of adjective phrases in everyday English. Here are some common examples of adjective phrases that you might hear or use in daily life. Really excited about the trip. Instead of just saying excited, the phrase adds more detail. Completely happy with the results. This adjective phrase gives us a clearer picture of the level of happiness. Full of energy and excitement. This phrase describes someone's personality or mood in a lively way. Each adjective phrase allows us to add layers of meaning, helping others understand the description better. Creating adjective phrases together. Let's try turning simple adjectives into adjective phrases. Here are some examples. Smart. Incredibly smart with numbers. Beautiful. Absolutely beautiful with long curly hair. Calm. Surprisingly calm under pressure. Now, think of some adjectives you use often and try adding modifiers or additional words to create your own adjective phrases. This exercise will make your descriptions more precise and interesting. If you want more examples, you can visit thestoryspeak.online for helpful videos and exercises on adjective phrases. Adding adjective phrases to sentences. Let's compare two sentences to see how adjective phrases enhance descriptions. Simple sentence, she is confident. With adjective phrase, she is highly confident in her abilities. The adjective phrase highly confident in her abilities adds depth to the description, showing not just that she is confident, but the extent and reason for her confidence. Using descriptive language is powerful in communication. American writer F. Scott Fitzgerald once said, "You don't write because you want to say something. You write because you have something to say." When you add adjective phrases to your descriptions, you say more with fewer words, helping others see your ideas more clearly. Now, it's your turn. In the comments, try sharing an adjective phrase that describes someone or something in your life. It could be about a friend, family member, or even a favorite object. For example, very caring and thoughtful with friends. Your examples will help inspire others. Chapter 5. Adverb phrases. Welcome to Chapter 5. We've explored phrases that describe nouns and add detail to verbs. Now let's dive into adverb phrases. Adverb phrases help us give extra information about actions, making sentences clearer, more interesting, and more specific. So let's explore how adverb phrases work and see how they can add life to your sentences. What is an adverb phrase? An adverb phrase is a group of words that acts as an adverb, providing more detail about a verb, adjective, or even another adverb. Adverb phrases can explain how, when, where, or why something happens, helping to paint a fuller picture of the action. For example, with great care. This adverb phrase tells us how something was done. In the morning. This phrase tells us when something happened. Adverb phrases are like spices in a recipe. They add extra flavor, making sentences more enjoyable and descriptive. Why are adverb phrases important? Using adverb phrases can make your sentences more informative and engaging. They let you answer questions like, how did it happen, or where did it take place, which makes the meaning much clearer for your listener or reader. For instance, he spoke clearly. This sentence is simple and direct. He spoke with a calm and gentle voice. Now we understand how he spoke, making the sentence richer in meaning. As Ralph Waldo Emerson once said, "The only way to have a friend is to be one." Similarly, the only way to make language clear and impactful is by using details, like those provided by adverb phrases, to express ideas effectively. Structure of an adverb phrase. An adverb phrase often contains an adverb, the main describing word. Additional words. These can include prepositions or other modifiers that give more context. For example, very quickly indeed. Adverb, quickly. Modifier, very additional. Word, indeed. Together, these words work as an adverb phrase that tells us exactly how something happens. Examples of adverb phrases in everyday English. Here are some examples of adverb phrases you might come across daily. With excitement and joy, describes how someone feels or acts. In the middle of the night, explains when something occurred. Across the busy street, tells us where something happened. Each of these phrases adds a layer of meaning, helping us understand actions more fully. Creating adverb phrases together. Let's try expanding simple adverbs into adverb phrases. Here's how you can take a single word and make it more descriptive. Quickly. With impressive speed, carefully, with great attention to detail. Happily, with a big smile on her face. By adding details to these simple words, we create adverb phrases that bring more color and emotion to the action. Try it with adverbs you know, like quietly, sadly, or eagerly. If you want to see more examples or practice, check out thestryspeak.online, where I've shared resources on adverb phrases and other language skills, making sentences better with adverb phrases. Let's compare two sentences to see how an adverb phrase can make a difference. Simple sentence, she danced. With adverb phrase, she danced with energy and grace. The adverb phrase, with energy and grace, transforms the simple action into a lively image, allowing the listener to visualize how she danced. Adding detail to language is like adding layers to a painting. As Mark Twain said, the difference between the almost right word and the right word is really a large matter. By choosing the right words in adverb phrases, you can describe actions with precision and clarity, making your communication more powerful. Let's put your skills to the test. In the comments, try creating your own adverb phrase. Start with a simple adverb like softly or quickly, and add words around it to create an adverb phrase. For example, with a gentle touch or at an impressive pace. Share your phrases and let's inspire each other with creative language. Chapter 6, Prepositional Phrases. Welcome to Chapter 6. So far, we've covered phrases that bring depth to nouns, verbs, adjectives, and adverbs. Now it's time to talk about prepositional phrases. These phrases help us understand the where, when, and how of actions and descriptions. Prepositional phrases are everywhere, and once you understand how to use them, your English will become more precise and descriptive. What is a prepositional phrase? A prepositional phrase begins with a preposition and usually ends with a noun or pronoun. The words in between add detail, creating a mini story within your sentence. Prepositions are words like in, on, at, over, under, by, and many more that show relationships between objects and actions. For example, on the table. This phrase tells us the location of something. Before sunrise, this phrase gives a sense of time. Think of prepositional phrases as little pointers. They tell us where or when something is happening. Why are prepositional phrases important? Prepositional phrases are crucial because they make language more specific and understandable. Instead of leaving the reader or listener guessing, prepositional phrases guide them. When you say under the tree, for instance, it's much clearer than just saying nearby. It helps others imagine the exact location or time. Consider these two sentences. The book is placed carefully. The book is placed carefully on the top shelf. In the second sentence, on the top shelf gives a precise location, making the sentence clearer and more helpful. As the writer William Strunk Jr. said, vigorous writing is concise. Prepositional phrases help you express more meaning with fewer words, adding depth without making sentences too long. Structure of a prepositional phrase. A prepositional phrase generally includes preposition. This is the main word that shows the relationship, like in, on, at. Object of the preposition. This is the noun or pronoun that follows the preposition, giving it meaning. Modifiers, optional, words that provide additional detail about the object. For example, beside the old oak tree. Preposition, beside object of the preposition. Oak tree. Modifier, old together. These words form a phrase that describes a specific location. Examples of prepositional phrases in everyday English. Here are some common examples of prepositional phrases you might hear or use daily. At the grocery store tells us where someone is. During the night gives a sense of when something happened. With a gentle touch explains how something was done. These phrases are small yet powerful tools to make sentences clearer and more detailed. Creating prepositional phrases together. Let's try building prepositional phrases from basic prepositions. In the small cozy room. Over the bright blue ocean. Between the tall green trees. Adding detail to these prepositions turns them into vivid descriptions. You can experiment with different nouns and modifiers to create your prepositional phrases. To practice even more, check out my website, thestoryspeak.online, for helpful exercises and examples of prepositional phrases. Enhancing sentences with prepositional phrases. Let's look at two sentences and see how a prepositional phrase can make a sentence more informative. Simple sentence, she waited. With prepositional phrase, she waited patiently by the door. The phrase by the door adds context, telling us where she waited, making the image in our mind clearer. Using prepositional phrases can make your language more vivid and precise. As the philosopher Ludwig Wittgenstein said, "The limits of my language mean the limits of my world." Prepositional phrases help us expand those limits by adding clarity and meaning, making communication richer and more detailed. Let's have some fun. In the comments, try creating a prepositional phrase of your own. Choose any preposition, like under, near, or after, and add a noun or pronoun to create your phrase. For example, near the sunny beach, or after a long day. Let's see what unique phrases you come up with.